Welcome to a video from digitallife.com. In this video I'm going to look at how we can recreate a Hammond B3 Leslie type sound on the Korg Modwave. And this came actually as a question from Phil Wood, who asked me if it's possible to create this, and I thought it probably is. Now there is probably a really good way to do it without samples, maybe to get some organ type waveforms and then recreate that Doppler effect on the Leslie in the Modwave, but I didn't do that. I did it with some samples. Phil actually provided me with the samples as well. Incidentally, at the end of the video I'll include links for to download these sounds. So Leslie speaker, we use the Hammond organs, or use the organs as that sort of phased effect as it rotates. The speaker rotates round and round, and then when you switch it to fast mode, it gets faster and faster and faster until it reaches the fast speed. You could use two samples, Leslie B3 sample on slow or off and a Leslie on fast, and then switch between them. But of course then you're just going to go straight from slow or off straight to fast, and that's not the effect that Phil wanted. He wanted that transition, the speed going up. So can you recreate that on the Modwave? What you heard at the beginning then was my attempt at it, and I thought it'd be useful to do this video because it shows a couple of interesting features with the mod processor on the Modwave. So what Phil provided me, and what you can see I've got here, is 4 multi-samples. So he's done these over octaves, and I think I've got the multi-samples on here. So here you can see the multi-sample that Phil provided me. So he's gone through and done by octave. So the nice B3 multi-samples, which saved me a lot of work to do to get those. So Phil provided me those 4. So what I wanted to do is a way of switching between sample 1, sample 2, sample 3, sample 4, and using the mod wheel to switch between those. So you're not speeding up the Leslie sound, but you are cross-fading between slow, medium fast, and fast. Now the Modwave has got 2 oscillators per layer, so one layer would provide you with 1 and 2, and then I've used the other layer for 3 and 4. So I've shown you a few tricks I've done to this. So like I said, these sounds are available to download later. Right, I'm just going to start from scratch though, just show you how I do that. It's an interesting lesson on using the mod processor. There's probably better ways of doing this as well, so I'm open to suggestions. Leave your comments. If you can think of a better way, great, please let me know. So on oscillator 1 sample, I'm going to choose Phil's B3, so we'll go with the slow, and oscillator 2, I'm going to go with the fast one. In fact, let's go with the medium slow. That's what the first 2 that we want. So if I just go to oscillator 1, I'm doing this by the way on the Modwave native because it's easy for me to capture the screen, but all this works on the actual Modwave Mark II and the rack version. No effects on any of these as sounds that I'm going to do now as well. So there you go. So there's the B3 with the slow Leslie. If I put oscillator 2 on, you can hear the slow speed on there. So the first thought, well, I can just switch between them. So which I can. So I could use something really simple. I could go with the modulation wheel 100%, so that switches it on and off. And on the other one, I can go with the modulation wheel minus 100%. So then it should crossfade between the 2. In fact, that should be the other way around. Right there. So mod wheel down, slow, mod wheel up, and it goes to the full one. So we've got that nice switching now between the 2 layers. We could go straight to the fast one. It goes straight to fast, and that's not really what I wanted to do. So I'm going to put it back to the medium slow. So the question, so I was thinking, how can I do this for the 4? So an easy option is to use layer 1 with the first 2 and layer 2 with the other 2. That's no problem. But I want to use the mod wheel here to 0 to say 25% to be oscillator 1, 25 to 50 oscillator 2, 50 to 75 to be layer B oscillator 1, and then the rest to be layer B oscillator 2. So I want my mod wheel, where I'm on this layer, to only need to go up to 50% to get this oscillator 1 to 0 and oscillator 2 to 100. So I need to like double it. So I was thinking how I can do that. I can do it with some multiplier or something else like that. So in the end, what I decided that I would use is the mod processor. The mod processor is something I've not used very much, but it's actually really powerful. So you can choose loads of different settings. So on this, I could say if the mod wheel is above 50, then I can set the value as 100 or whatever. But that would then give me some digital switching and not crossfading. So to show what I mean, I could say the mod wheel, when it's above 50, let's just type that in, I want a fixed value of 100, and if it's below, I want the fixed value to be 0. So then I could go back to here and change that to be mod processor 1, change that to be mod processor 2, mod processor 1 again, sorry. So now it's a digital switch now. Again, not what I want. So instead what I'm going to do, I'm going to use an offset. So the input will be the mod wheel. I set the level as 200. Right, so I've just set that. So I've set the level to 200 with no offset. And you see now, if I've got just doing oscillator 2, if I go to 50%, that oscillator 2 is now full. If I go to 0, it's off. So I should be able to do the reverse. Just go to 50%, and you can see there that oscillator 1, let's do that all the way up. So now 0, oscillator 1, 50%, oscillator 2. So I've got the smoother transition. So that's great. So I can, I'm going to save this as B3 demo. So far so good. Turn layer A off, go to layer B. We can load in the demo that we've just done. Sample 1, I'm going to switch to the medium fast, and sample 2 to the fast. So now, so we've got medium fast, fast. Great. So that's doing exactly what I want. Now, of course, what's going to happen now is if I switch layer B on, we're going to have at the same time, we're going to have both at the same time. We don't want that. What we need to do is to transition between the two. So to switch between the two layers using the mod controller as well, I'm going to use another mod processor. I'm going to use the other mod. So let's go back to layer A. Layer B is off. What we want is when the mod controller is above 50%, is not to be able to hear layer A. So actually it's pretty simple. I could just use the filter and drop the filter right down to 0 using that mod processor 2. So this is where we could use this one, but it's not the exact result I wanted, but let me show you. So mod wheel threshold is 50. So when it's above 50, I don't need this oscillator, or I don't need this layer anymore. And when it's below, I do. Oh, and then we need to apply that to this output. Now the only trouble with that, when we do that, we're going to, and if I apply the same thing to the other oscillator, we'll hear a glitch, I think, when we go through the layers. Let's give that a try. So I'm going to now turn on layer B, and go to motion 2. Right, just turn layer A off, get nothing up to 50. So what I forgot was on this layer B, we want the mod wheel to only make a difference above 50. So whereas before we had it below 50. So I think I should have an offset of -100. Let's check. There we go. So it's off, 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 50%, sample 3, full, sample 4. Okay, we'll turn them both off, but I think we might hear some glitching. Let's listen to all 4 oscillators there. Slow, medium fast, fast, but you can hear that glitching. You can hear that as we digitally switch between them. So I didn't want to use that one. Right, so that you can hear the digital glitching there. So I'm going to avoid that by using a instead of using that gate, I'm going to use a smooth and use the whole wheel, the whole range of the mod wheel, but to use the attack to slow it down so that if you go up instantly with it, it will take its time to go up, so you get to hear all 4 layers. So hopefully that will give us a smoother transition. So let's put mod wheel, put some attack time on there. Let's try 3.2. Go to the other layer, do the same thing. Right, let's try that. So I need to change the output level, so I'll put this to... So it starts off with, on layer B, starts off at 0, goes up to 100, but with the slower attack time. Right, that's working. Let's have a listen to that. So now you can hear 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. But anyway, so that's it. So we've got 4 layers. So one is doing the offset, so you can use the half of the mod wheel to control the full volume range of each oscillator. Mod processor 2 is slowly switching between those oscillator layer A and layer B with a bit of delay from using the attack. And actually I should probably do some on the return as well, just to give that smooth transition back again. I think there might be a better way of doing those, the switching between layer A and layer B, like I said, like a nice curved waveform, and there are some other ways. There are some other mod processors you could use as well. So maybe you've got a better idea, so let me know. So to finish that off, I could just put a bit of effects on it. So there we go. There's our B3 demo. So those mod processors are great, and you can use it for anything, any of the parameters. You can use the mod processor to control that. So it's a really great way of controlling those different parameters across the whole mod wave. And that layer switching is quite an interesting trick as well. You could use velocity, you could use aftertouch. If you've got an aftertouch keyboard, you could use the aftertouch value to go through the 4 layers, so you could control the Leslie through the aftertouch or something like that. I was thinking maybe you could do it with the foot switch to trigger. The foot switch could trigger an envelope which could switch them or something like that. There's quite a few different ways. So that's it. Thanks to Phil Wood for the samples and the idea, the suggestion, the question. Phil's kind of let me share the sample files with you as well. So on musictechdownloads.thedisclifestyle.com, you can download the sample files, which you can then use the sample builder to import them into your Modwave or Modwave native. There's also the performance and the programs that I've already created here, so you can give those a try yourself and give it a go. So thanks for watching this video. Please like, subscribe and all that, and I'll see you on the next one.